You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature.
Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop, and I am on a kit called Goo-hu. Create giant eyeball and mini bounce balls. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? I was looking at the picture, and he looks pretty excited there. Like, ooh, look, I got a giant eyeball. Mix it, mold it, bounce it, and see contents on back panel. But it looks like you're taking an A side to a B side. They call it A matter, B matter, into a mold, and that's how you get the finished product. So let's see, you get 4 A matter pods, 4 B matter pods, I'm reading right here, giant ball mold, mini ball mold, 2 pairs of double-sided eye cutouts, and an instruction sheet. Okay, so unmixed, A matter and B matter will remain gooey forever. I'm reading that top paragraph. But once they are mixed together, a magical matter is created that takes on a permanent, rubbery, bouncy, and flexible form called Goo-hu. All right. I think we've accomplished the mission of understanding the box. And let's see how we get into Goo-hu here. Let me turn this down. And see all the different pieces. Okay, so that took out the one side of the Goo-hu matter. And does the top? No, the top does not open. So now I got to do the second side. And then we'll see if that opens the bottom, maybe. Okay. Ooh, I did it. There we go. So that's the rest. And then there's my component pieces. So that's everything. I think I got it all. Sometimes I leave things in the box and I don't notice it till later, but I think we got it all out of there. The instructions. Okay. So our matters. And then this little pack here. There is the eyes, double-sided. And then here's our mini ball set. And then the giant one, which just looks like a mold that clips on. But the right way would help, right? It looks like an air hole or some kind of air vent there. It doesn't lock. Let's try that again. Looks like it just sits. So let's see here. Tips and tricks. Read all instructions before you start. It takes 2/3 pods to make a giant eyeball. Follow steps 1 through 8. So combine 1 color A matter pod with 1 B matter pod and knead for at least 2 minutes or until fully mixed. It takes 2 1/3 pods to make a giant eyeball, but it's not showing the 1/3, it's just showing 2. Interesting. Press the colored mixed matter into half of the mold containing the air hole. All right. Combine A clear matter. Oh, here we go. So extra stuff. See? And then the back side. Let's see. Oh, that was step 7, step 8, because you have to wait 10 to 15 minutes, and then your eyeball appears. To make a mini bounce balls, follow steps 1 through 3. Using the remaining goo, pre-measure unmixed matter using half the mold as a measuring tool. Okay, so you're taking that and using it as your measuring tool. Combine equal parts of the pre-measured A matter with B matter. Knead for at least 2 minutes or until fully mixed. Add the mixture matter into half of the mold. Press the 2 mold halves together, ensuring that both arrows on the tabs are pointing at each other. Peel away any excess Goo-hu from the seam immediately. After 10 to 15 minutes of curing, open the mold and remove your one-of-a-kind design. So let's see. A and B together. Oh, okay, yeah, so that just locks in like that. Alright, so let's check this out now. Okay, so combine 1 colored A matter pod with 1 B matter pod and knead it for at least 2 minutes. See helpful details. Helpful details. Each pod is 0.35 ounces of matter. Most activities require exactly 1 of each pod. Excess can be used at your discretion, but quickly because it cures. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with this A pod, and then let's take a B pod. Let me grab my scissors. I had them here a second ago, and I can't find them. Well, I'll cut it with this. This tool is good for lots of things. You'll see in a lot of my videos. There you go. So one A pod with one B pod and mix for 2 minutes. It's nice and loud. So it's not liquidy, so it's kind of almost like a putty, like a silly putty, and it doesn't have a noxious smell or anything. And then mix one B matter pod I'm getting it. Okay, for 2 minutes. There we go. Kind of the same texture and feel to this. It feels very much like a clear silly putty. Let me get my timer. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. I just had to get the set to 2. So now I need to start it. And now we are going. Okay, so I'll read on while I do that. So that was the first step. And it says press the colored mix matter into half the mold containing the air hole. Okay. Then it says combine one clear A matter pod with one B matter pod and knead for at least 2 minutes until fully mixed. Separate the mixed matter into 3 separate balls. All right. So we are at about a minute 10 seconds, 15 seconds, sorry. To reduce the number of air bubbles, push the matter on itself without folding it, as folding creates pockets of air. Okay. I was folding a little bit there, but I don't see too much air in there. A couple little air bubbles here and there. It's hard not to fold it. Your natural tendency is to fold it. Okay, 26 seconds. Press the colored mixed matter into half the mold containing the air hole. Okay. We're getting there. Okay, here we go. Press in. Now I see just a couple air holes in there. I'll do better next time, I promise. Okay. Does it reset? Oh, 2 minutes again. So now I've pressed it in there. Okay. Now it says combine one clear matter and so do it again. One clear. Man, those are some really loud covers, huh? Okay, and another clear B. I'm going to make another cutting sound here. This one did not want to open. Okay. There we go. So 2 minutes. It's almost impossible not to fold it. Doing my best. So it's very stretchy and pretty neat. See, I just folded it there by showing you that. Alright, so the next step, let's see. So we'll just keep kneading it for 2 minutes or until fully mixed. Separate the mixed matter into 3 separate eyeballs. So this is going to be the next step. So I need to let this fully mix here. I see what's going to happen here, because with this here now, and then I'm going to put this bigger piece in next, it's going to fit in the eye area, and then pressing the other 3 balls around, it kind of gives you what looks to be, and what it's going to look like is an eyeball. So we're at 37 seconds. Now my hands were very clean when I started. They are a little dry though for the winter. Sometimes my hands get dry. Okay, 9 seconds. Okay, here we go. 3 separate balls of equal size. So let's stop that. I'd say that's really close. And they show them really round, so I'm going to get them really round. Okay, iris eye cutout. I think I'm going to do the blue. I'm going to do the blue with the bloodshot eye. I think I like that. Okay, so we need those pieces now. Alright, so what they're showing is this is actually clipped together. Okay. Alright, here we go. So put the first ball in, then the iris eye. Okay. And then it says, press in the rest of the clear mixed matter and then add the back eye cutout. It's double-sided. Let's see, the clear side I want to be like that. Then it says, remove and combine 1/3 of goo matter from a clear A matter pod and a B matter pod and knead for at least another 2 minutes. Wow, I'm running through this really quick here. Oh, so that's the 2/3. So now I need 1/3 of this. Let me just take it all out so I can kind of get a gauge here. Hey, who told you to go off there, timer? Stop. Okay. So I'm going to make that into thirds. Okay, so if I take this and this, and I make them about the same, I know I can cut this into thirds. Okay, so I need this much. So I'll save that. As long as they're not together, I think we're okay as far as that. So another 2 minutes of mixing. Here we go. Now that's going to fill up the space. Wow, so then it says, press the mixture to any side of the mold. Then we close it and wait 10 to 15 minutes. All right. Well, you didn't start. So I'm going to go only to a minute and say 15. I do want to make the minis. So what I'll probably do is just use up my last mix into one big lump. Oh, maybe I won't. I'll do thirds again. Let me see. I'll see. When I get to that step, I'll decide then. Well, this thing's not going again. Okay, so let's just assume it's been a minute, so I'll go 1 minute. My timer's acting fidgety. I think that's what they mean about not kneading, just kind of pressing it into itself, because when you fold it over, then you create those air pockets. It's just hard to do with such a tiny, tiny piece. You smush it. Okay, we're almost there. We almost have an eyeball. I'm going to do another 10 seconds, and we'll say that's good. I think you get the idea of what we're going to achieve here, right? Okay, so make this into a ball. So push on either side, okay, and then close that together. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is let that sit. I'm going to come back in when that's ready and then do the next ones. Okay, I'm back. It's been about a full 15 minutes. And this half is ready. I was just playing around with the other stuff that I had left over because I want to do some of the small ones with this. At least show you that process now. After 10 to 15 curing, open the mold and remove your one-of-a-kind design. So, here we go. Well, you kind of see it peeled away. Look at that. There. Look at that. Cool. Let me see if I can clean off this. Still seems to be soft. Oh, it's nice. It peels off real nice on that seam. I'm not going to handle it much more. I want to let this sit now. So there is the eyeball. Now the next step was to make the small ones, the bouncy ones. So let's do that. I need to get these two out. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that sounds in the camera, but it sounds pretty cool from here. It's probably annoying you all. Sorry about that. Especially when you got headphones on and you're not expecting those kinds of sounds. Alright, so let's see. Now I'm not going to mix this together yet. It says using the measuring Goo, pre-measure unmixed matter using half the mold as a measuring tool. So I need to fill half, mix it. Then it looks like split it up into 3 again, then put the mold back on top. So let me just take a little bit out and see how it fills each section. So it's a tiny, tiny amount. Like about that much. So I need 3 little balls about that big. Those are small. And then 3 of this about the same size. I'll just double check that, but I think that's what they're saying. Okay. Just see. Oh yeah, that fits real nice. I think we're good. So now I'll mix this all 2 minutes. Let's leave it at 15, and then I'll just go to 13. Now I had goofed around with the stuff I had, just made a few small ones just to kind of see what it was like. And those seem to have hardened up a little. And then I had a lump left over, remember? So that has not fully cured yet. But the ball, pretty cool. So I think there's a lot more you can do with this without having to actually use their kit. You can probably, I would maybe put a marble in there or other cool things you can do with it. Sometimes you see super balls of little creatures in there. That might be cool to embed a little creature. So that was 1 minute of mixing. All right, almost there. And you can just tell that it's pretty good. I mean, you see some red variants in there. Almost turned to a nice pinkish hue. And you still have some left over because you can do more with that. You can't make another full eyeball though. So you have to get more. Not sure why they included another set. Okay, 10 seconds. All right, there we go. I'll split this up into 3. And then what I'll do is I'll just press this and then check back in another 10 to 15 minutes and see what we have. That's split up real nice. Press this together. And I will check back now to wipe off any stuff that comes out. And we'll check back in another 10 minutes and kind of wrap up the whole video. Alright, I'm back. It's been another 10 minutes. This eyeball has set up pretty good now. They did say if it doesn't set up all the way, just leave it in there for a little longer. But 2 to 3 hours is the full cure on it. And I just molded this one not even seconds ago. I took my leftover, made a ball, and I just put it in there to let that cure. But I really want to see what these small ones look like. So I am going to open them up and see if they've cured. There is a little excess on the edge. So I'll probably have to cut that off. Look at, there's a lot on that one. Let's see. They don't bounce as good as the big one. Those probably need to cure a little bit longer. And I'll probably chip away at the outside edge and make that real nice. So overall, hey, don't stick to my eyeball. I think it's pretty cool. This was the leftover stuff. It still seems, it's not as, it's more rubbery, like a rubber band now, because it's been sitting off to the side. I had mixed it, but just left it. So I think overall, there's a lot you can do with this. Like this, just make an extra ball at the end of everything left over. Here's the little ones. I'll probably take like a scissors and clean those edges up. But this one is pretty cool. So let me just zoom in on my eyeball so you can get a good look at my retina there. How's that? Pretty cool? I think so. My bloodshot eyes. Too much video work there, LPS-Dave. And thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. Later.
If you want to find this item, click the link in the description area below the video. You can also watch more videos in this series by clicking here. Thanks for watching. And always remember, if you see a lucky penny, pick it up.